From New York, Rizal headed to Liverpool, England, through the ship city of Rome, where he won many friends of different nationalities due to his friendly, intellectual, and linguistic personality.
It's quite alarming the successive crimes that have been taking its toll in every part of the world. This leaves my family worried, especially my children, to go out. I highly agree. I experienced the same thing when I was about to go home. Indeed, every day is just a matter of life in that situation.
It's an irony how you bring your sword or gun to be able to protect yourself from danger, right? But sometimes it is the best option. This is YOLO. Though it looks like a toy, but it can be used as an offensive weapon. If you are wise enough and give importance to your life, why would you bring and depend on a yo-yo in such events like that? It seems like you let yourself kill fighting a lion. Nevertheless, I can assure that I'm far better than that. How about you?
I have gained literary recognition. Read some famous works of Thomas Jefferson and hold a high degree in journalism. Sir?
But with all due respect, Mom, you're giving me the opposite impression. The problem of mankind is not war, injustice, or death. It is the people who have decided to close their mind and close the wrong side, or choose the wrong side. Think about that.
I am Eloisa from Italy. And I am Reese from France.
On 24th of May 1888, Rizal arrived in Liverpool and stayed at Adelphi Hotel for a night. On Rizal's second day in England, he stayed as a guest at the home of Dr. Antonio Maria Regidor, an exiled and practicing lawyer in London. Shortly after, he moved by the end of May to a boarding place at number 37, Chatham Crescent, Primrose Hill, owned by the Beckett family.
It's nice to finally meet you, Mr. Rizal. Please make yourself at home.
The pleasure is mine, Mr. Beckett.
Oh, I almost forgot. This is my lovely wife. And my lovely children.
It's nice to make an acquaintance with you, Mrs. Beckett.
And my beautiful daughter, Gertrude.
I heard that you're interested in books, aren't you? Well, this is a perfect place because it just takes a few blocks before you reach the British Museum from here. You can also visit the public parks during your free time.
Well, it's good to know, Mrs. Beckett. It can certainly add to my research and make blissful moments during my stay here in London.
From there, Rizal also met Dr. Reinhold Ross, the librarian of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Authority on Malay Languages and Customs, who was impressed by Rizal due to his interesting personality and abilities. Dr. Ross called Rizal a pearl of man or una perla de hombre. While Rizal was in London, he received both good and bad news from the Philippines. Of the bad news were the injustices committed by the Spanish authorities.
Silencio! Silencio ang prosas!
Ako, senyor! Naawa ka kayo sa akin! Wala ka ginagawang masama!
Silencio!
Some of which were the persecution of Filipino patriots who signed the Anti-Prior Petition 1888, persecution of the Calamba tenants, including Rizal's family and relatives, Spanish newspapers attacked Rizal, the exile of Manuel El Hidalgo, the husband of Saturnina, and arresting Laureano Viado, a medical student and friend of Rizal. However, one good news cheered Rizal as Reverend Vicente Garcia defended Noli Me Tangere under the pen name Justo Desiderio Magalang. Rizal spent most of his time reading books in the British Museum, such as his greatest desire, Morga's book, Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas, or Historical Events of the Philippines, and other old histories of the Philippines, written by Father Chirino, Father Colin, Father Argensola, Father Plasencia, and etc. From a letter of 17th of September 1888, Rizal said to Blumentritt,
Morga's work is an excellent book. It can be said that Morga is a modern scholarly explorer. He does not have any superficiality and exaggeration which are found among Spaniards today. He writes simply, but one has to read between the lines.
At one time, due to Rizal's determined engagement in reading and researching, he refused the request of Mariano Ponce to edit a newspaper that would defend the Filipino against the Spanish detractors. On a letter to Ponce on 12 of October 1888, Rizal said,
Today, I am dedicated day and night to certain studies, so that I do not want to edit any newspaper.
On early days of September 1888, Rizal went to Paris for a week to search for more historical materials in the Bibliothèque Nationale.
One of my greatest comrades. It's nice to see you again.
And so do I, my friend. Madam Paz Pardo de Tavera, this day is beautiful as you.
It's nice to meet you again, Rizal. Unfortunately, my son Andres is not here.
After a few weeks in Paris, Rizal again went to Europe. He both visited Madrid and Barcelona, Spain, to survey the political situation for the Philippine reform and meet his compatriots for the first time.
At last, the two prominent Filipino are standing now in front of you.
The story of a young Filipino has been personified. Once again, by Mariano Ponce.
I am Jose Rizal.
And I am Marcelo H. Del Pilar.
Both Marcelo H. Del Pilar and Mariano Ponce were the geniuses behind the propaganda movement. Together with Rizal, they exchanged ideas and promised to cooperate in the fight for reforms. Before 25th of December, he managed to return to London and celebrated both Christmas and New Year's Day with the Beckets, his first non-English country.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas! I wish you like my dish, Mr. Rizal.
You definitely nailed what my tongue is looking for, Mrs. Beckett. I think I will eat more than the usual this time. Gertrude, can you please pass me the chips?
Of course. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that to happen.
No, it's all my fault. You don't have to be sorry.
Anyway, I have something to give you, Mr. Rizal. I know you love magic, so I'm giving this to you. The Life and Adventures of Valentine Vox, the ventriloquist. I hope you like it.
I didn't expect this, Mrs. Beckett. Thank you so much for this wonderful gift.
Rizal was not the only one who received a gift. Rizal himself gave Blumentritt his own made bust of Emperor Augustus and his Polish scholar friend, Dr. Carlo Zeppelak, a bust of Julius Caesar. While Rizal was busy in his historical studies in London, he learned that the Filipinos in Barcelona were planning to establish a patriotic society which would cooperate in the crusade for reforms called Asociación La Solidaridad or Solidaridad Association. It was established on 31st of December, headed by Galasiano Apisible as the President, Graciano Lopez Jaena as the Vice President, Manuel Santa Maria Secretary, Mariano Ponce, Treasurer, and Jose Maria Panganiban as the Accountant, whereas Rizal decided to join.
As per the decision of all the members, I am glad to formally announce our new President, Jose P. Rizal.
And the granted position unto me. I, Jose Rizal, a native from Calamba and son of the Philippines, swear to all the people here that I will do everything I can to satisfy the needs of my country and my fellow Filipinos.
Almost 6 weeks after the inauguration of the association, Graciano Lopez Jaena created the patriotic newspaper La Solidaridad in Barcelona. Its goals were to fight for political and social reform, seek help from Spain, and keep the fight against the Spanish oppressors in the Philippines. Rizal also received a letter from Del Pilar stating the mission and members of the newspaper and his trust to Rizal, while Lopez Haina, congratulated by Rizal and provided his approval, cooperation, and sent some advice. On 25th of March 1889, after Rizal left London for Paris, where his first article was published entitled Los Agricultores Filipinos or the Filipino Farmers, where it depicted the deplorable conditions in the Philippines that made them suffer from great anguish. While Rizal was on his diligent study at the British Museum, he received news about the constant attack by Fray Rodriguez regarding his novel. As a response, he defended it by publishing a pamphlet called La Vision del Fray Rodriguez or The Vision of Fray Rodriguez under the pen name Di Masalang, where he demonstrated his profound knowledge in religion and his biting satire. As requested by Marcelo H. del Pilar, Rizal wrote the famous letter to the young women of Malolos in Tagalog, praising the ladies of Malolos and encouraged them to build a school where they could learn. He also contributed 2 articles to Dr. Ross, the editor of Traveler's Record, a specimen of Tagal folklores in May, and 2 Eastern fables in June. During Rizal's accommodation with the Beckets, his relationship with the eldest of the Becket sisters, Gertrude, was intensified.
Oh my sweet Betty, you've been doing your painting all day. You haven't eaten your lunch.
Thank you so much for your concern, Getty. But you don't have to do this for me. I can manage myself.
But let me take care of you because I love you.
And I love you too.
Despite of their deep affection with each other, Rizal could not marry Gertrude because of his mission, and the only way she could forget him was to go away. Before leaving London, Rizal finished 4 sculptural works: Prometheus Bound, the composite carving of the head of the Becket sisters, which he gave as a farewell gift to the Becket sisters, and the 2 he packed for Blumentritt, the triumph of death over life and the triumph of science over death.
Are you really going to leave, Mr. Rizal?
If I could, I would love to stay here. But I have a mission to fulfill. I hope you understand. And to my beautiful Getty, you will always be and forever in my heart.
But Betty, I can't imagine my life without you. I can't even afford to lose you.
If you really love me, then you should do what's the best for me. Mr. and Mrs. Becket, I thank God for giving me such folks as good as you. Your kindness and love that you have shown me was immeasurable. Thank you so much.
Bye, Mr. Rizal!
On 19th of March 1889, Rizal bade his last goodbye to the Becket family, especially to Gertrude, for Paris. He was sad crossing the English Channel, for he cherished so many beautiful memories in London.